Learn English through story. The Parable of the Merchant and the Monk. Once upon a time, in a vast and prosperous kingdom, there lived a wealthy merchant named Raghav. His wealth was unparalleled, and his influence stretched far beyond the borders of his homeland. He traded in silk, spices, and precious gems, and his caravans were a common sight in the marketplaces of distant lands. Despite his immense wealth, Raghav was known for being a shrewd and calculating man. He valued profit above all else, and every transaction he made was meticulously planned to ensure that he emerged the victor. One day, as he was traveling through a dense forest on his way to a distant city, Raghav's caravan was stopped by a group of bandits. They demanded that he hand over all his goods and wealth, or they would take his life. Though the merchant was frightened, he was quick to negotiate. "If you kill me, you will have only what I carry now," he said. "But if you spare me, I can lead you to a treasure far greater than anything you could imagine." The bandits, intrigued by his offer, agreed to let him live for the time being. Raghav then led them deeper into the forest, to an ancient temple hidden among the trees. The temple was old, its stones worn by time and weather, but it still stood tall, exuding an aura of mystery and reverence. This temple, Raghav explained, is said to hold a priceless treasure within its walls. But there is a catch. The treasure can only be accessed by someone who understands the true meaning of wealth. The bandits, greedy for riches, forced Raghav to enter the temple first. Inside, they found an old monk sitting in meditation. The monk, serene and wise, did not seem surprised by the arrival of the merchant and the bandits. Instead, he greeted them with a calm smile and asked, "What brings you to this sacred place?" Raghav, ever the opportunist, quickly explained their purpose. "We have come for the treasure that is said to be hidden here. I have brought these men because I believe I know the true meaning of wealth. If I am correct, the treasure will be ours." The monk nodded and gestured for them to sit. "The treasure you seek is indeed here," he said. "But it is not something that can be taken by force or found through greed. To claim it, you must first answer a question: what is the true meaning of wealth?" The bandits, impatient and frustrated, began to argue among themselves. Some said wealth was gold and jewels. Others claimed it was power and influence, while a few believed it was the ability to control others. Each bandit spoke with confidence, certain that their answer would lead them to the treasure. Raghav, however, remained silent. He listened carefully to each answer, considering his own response. He had spent his entire life amassing wealth, but now, faced with the monk's question, he found himself questioning what he truly knew. After a long pause, Raghav finally spoke. "Wealth, as I have come to understand it, is not just gold, silver, or material possessions. True wealth is the freedom to live without fear, to be at peace with oneself, and to have the wisdom to know it is enough. It is the ability to share what you have with others, knowing that the more you give, the more you receive in return. It is contentment in the present moment, without constantly yearning for more." The monk's eyes sparkled with approval as he listened to Raghav's words. "You have spoken wisely, merchant," he said. "Indeed, the true meaning of wealth is not found in what we accumulate, but in what we are willing to share and in the peace we cultivate within ourselves. You have passed the first test, but there is one more to complete." The bandits grumbled, growing increasingly impatient, but Raghav remained composed. "What is the second test?" he asked. The monk rose and led them deeper into the temple. In the innermost chamber, they found a small, unassuming chest. The monk placed the chest in front of them and said, Inside this chest lies the treasure you seek. But before you open it, you must make a choice. If you open the chest, you must take all that is inside and leave nothing behind. If you choose to leave it closed, you may take nothing with you, but you will leave this place with the knowledge that you made the right choice. Raghav pondered the monk's words carefully. He knew that whatever was inside the chest could either bring him untold riches or ruin his soul. He had learned much from the monk's teachings, and he now understood that his entire life had been a pursuit of material wealth at the expense of true happiness and peace. Finally, he made his decision. "I choose to leave the chest closed," Raghav declared. "I have realized that true wealth cannot be measured by what we possess, but by what we are willing to let go. I do not need what is inside the chest to feel rich. I will leave this place with the peace of knowing that I have made the right choice." The monk smiled, his expression one of deep respect. "You have indeed understood the true meaning of wealth," he said. "The treasure inside this chest is nothing more than a mirror. Those who open it see only their reflection, a reminder that true wealth is found within. By choosing not to open the chest, you have proven that you value inner peace and wisdom over material gain." The bandits, realizing they had been outwitted and that there was no treasure to be had, cursed their fate and left the temple empty-handed. Raghav, on the other hand, felt a sense of liberation and clarity he had never experienced before. He thanked the monk for his teachings and returned to his caravan. As Raghav continued on his journey, he found that his perspective on life had changed. No longer obsessed with accumulating wealth, he began to use his resources to help those in need. He funded schools, built shelters for the poor, and provided food for the hungry. In doing so, he discovered a deep sense of fulfillment and joy that no amount of gold could ever buy. Years later, as he lay on his deathbed, surrounded by the many people whose lives he had touched, Raghav realized that he had indeed found the greatest treasure of all. It was not the riches he had once sought, but the love, respect, and gratitude of those he had helped. In his final moments, he was at peace, knowing that he had lived a life of true wealth, one measured not by what he had gained, but by what he had given. And so, the parable of the merchant and the monk teaches us that true wealth is not in the material possessions we accumulate but in the peace, wisdom, and generosity we cultivate within ourselves and share with the world. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you enjoyed, then please like and share this video and don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.